Howdy, folks. It is Diecastbuffet here again. Kyle Larson gets his second win of the year and his second win at Watkins Glen, taking out. No, I'm just kidding. He moved Chase Elliott. It was a clean move. He went for the win. You got to do what you got to do. And he took the win away from Chase Elliott. So a huge congratulations to the 5 team. Pretty cool how he swept Watkins Glen just like Joey Logano did a number of years ago, winning the Xfinity race and winning the Cup race, both in the HendrickCars.com paint schemes. I really hope we get some sort of a 2-car set or whatnot. But if you want to go ahead and pre-order those race to win diecast in the 124 scale, I'd be shocked if they don't offer them in the 164 scale as well. Go over there to Circle B Diecast and you can check out with the promo code Diecastbuffet and you can save on shipping, guys, for any orders $30 or more. So, Watkins Glen 2022. This has been a really interesting Watkins Glen race. So many different drivers kind of making a one-off start, if you will, an international flair. Really, really cool to see the media attention for that. But there's a little bit of a disappointment, I will say, about this Watkins Glen race. Not that Chase Elliott didn't win. I think I was cheering for AJ Allmendinger or Michael McDowell, to be honest with you, because I want to see 16 winners, right? Plus, Chase Elliott's paint scheme, I got to be honest with you, worst Kelly Blue Book car I have seen. Just going to be honest with you. Anyways, the disappointment I have with this Watkins Glen race was the rain. They hyped it up. Oh, we're going to go racing in the rain. We're going to have a great time in the rain. And then they go out there, they run around, they do their recon laps, and then they pull them down pit road and they wait for the entire storm to pass through. So instead of us having a chaotic stage one of, slick tires and rain tires and people just slipping and sliding all over the racetrack like they've done, it seems plenty of times in the past in the trucks. I mean, what about the ARCA race at Mid-Ohio, or the Xfinity Series, and in times like the Cup Series. So they decided, we're not going to run in the hard rain at all, we're just going to wait it out, which I thought was really stupid considering they already had a lengthy delay. Fortunately, they were able to get the whole race in, considering it's on the East Coast, an hour ahead, and then, naturally they don't have lights there at Watkins Glen. Now, I do understand that they have, standing water. Watkins Glen is not a flat track. It is a elevation road course, ups and downs. You're going to have pockets where water can accumulate, so I totally understand that. But believe me, they have ran so many sports car races across the globe in worse weather conditions than that. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, let's not forget about the 24 Hours of Daytona a couple years ago when they were running on the high banks at Daytona, and it was absolute monsoon the whole race. I don't know. I just feel like they could have ran it. They could have cleared, the hydroplane areas as much as they could, right? I don't see why they couldn't take... If they had like a huge area of standing water, I don't see how they couldn't just take a truck, get the water up, suck the water up and get it off the racetrack in those portions. And I feel like as the cars go, the water would dissipate. So like, for instance, the inside line of the carousel, on the bottom groove, you would imagine there'd be a lot of water there. I don't see how they couldn't just get the water up and let the racing go. And I feel like as it goes on, the water would eventually dissipate from the racetrack naturally, kind of like you see marbles on the racetrack, tire marbles, that is. To me, I really did not like that. That was extremely disappointing because ever since they announced rain tires for the Cup Series, I've always wanted to see a Watkins Glen rain race. They teased it, and then they said, nope, we're not going to do it, which they've raced in worse. I mean, they've raced in worse. I don't think it was... I understand the safety aspects for it, but it's like they've raced in worse conditions before. And this wasn't the COTA, racetrack that's completely new to all the drivers, right? And you have, 3-4 miles of racing, and it just, Watkins Glen is a significantly different racetrack than COTA. So I think comparing both of them and saying, oh, we don't want to have another COTA incident, I don't think would have happened at all. I got to be honest with you. Next thing that I really did not like for the initial start of the race was the single file restarts. I got to be honest with you, I cannot stand single file restarts. I cannot stand single file starts to the race. I knew immediately when they said they were going to go single file that the racing quality dipped 40%. Immediately, because that's how it is, because the leader is going to jump the restart, right? He can play so many more games. Each car is going to have 1 to 2 car lengths by the time they exit the S's. It's just, it really hurts the racing quality. I get it, they don't want to have a giant stack up turn one, but let's just be honest, that's what the fans like about the road course racing. They like seeing the turn one dive bombs and everyone's door banging. These are not open wheel cars. These cars are built to take a beating, right? So I did not like that. But I will say, though, after the rain, moved through, they had a light rain when they started the race. And after it moved through and it got into dry conditions, they did go back to the two wide restarts, which I'm so glad they did, because if they went to the single file restarts, this race would have been extremely bad because nothing would have happened, because Chase Elliott would have probably won the race by 20 seconds, because if you have a single file restart, you're pretty much eliminating almost all the competition for the race leader. All he has to do is defend second and third, and he's good. He's clean. You don't have to worry about someone dive bombing him, because we've seen it so many times in the Winston Cup era, and I love the Winston Cup era, but I never liked the single file restarts, because you can play so many more games on the restarts, and you're green and clean. You don't have someone on your inside or your outside, so I just really do not like the single file restarts. I was extremely disappointed about that, but I'm so glad they went back to the two wide stuff. So the quality of racing with the next gen car at Watkins Glen, it was pretty fun. It was pretty good. I wish there was a little bit more parity up front, because it seemed like it was the 5 car and the 9 car and everyone else. The 34 stood out, the 16 stood out at times, and I would say the late bloomer of the 22 car as well, of Joey Logano, but Hendrick Motorsports, they had this one under pat. I mean, they just dominated the whole race. They were extremely good in the Xfinity race with William Byron and Kyle Larson, which I'll give my quick take on the Ty Gibbs-William Byron incident. It was hard racing. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a Hendrick guy, and I think it was just hard racing. Just like with Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, it was hard racing. Kyle Larson did nothing wrong, and I'm a Chase Elliott fan. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He moved Chase out of the way. He might have accidentally drove into the corner too deep. Regardless, he won the race. That's how you do it. But it was fun. I thought Watkins Glen was fun. It was looking like to be a real disappointment at first, because no rain racing, single file restarts. I knew it was just going to be, yeah. And to give a little context to that, when they did it to the Bristol Dirt Race in 21, as soon as they went to single file restarts, the race sucked. But when they raced two wide, the racing was great. I get it; they couldn't see much, but the quality of the racing was so much better. So I'm glad they went to the double wide restarts. But regardless, what do y'all think about the Watkins Glen 2022 race? I wish they had an IndyCar race there. That'd be fantastic. But Kyle Larson gets it done, second win of the year. And, I was thinking about it yesterday when he won the Xfinity race. I'm like, this is the absolute perfect time for Kyle Larson to get in the Xfinity car, because you're like 2 to 3 weeks away from the playoffs. If you win right now, you're starting to build some momentum. And the fact that he sweeps Watkins Glen at the last true road course race of the year, because you have the Roval, which is like a Frankenstein track. This could be exactly what Kyle Larson needs to go on a championship run. I'm just saying, guys. He has not had the season he had last year, which is expected, because the next gen is a completely different race car with so much parity in the sport. Daytona is next, and it's going to be crazy, because you got so many drivers who have to win this race. There's no more second chances, so drivers are going to be making every block, every pass, every move possible to win that Daytona race. And if the 500 back in February was anything of a preview of the 400, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, because you got guys like Eric Jones. You got guys like the 23 car Bubba Wallace. You got Corey LaJoie. You got, there's so many drivers that are capable. They have the speed to win a restrictor plate race. This is their last shot. And then you have drivers like Ty Dillon who don't have a ride for next year. Their careers, in some way, shape, or form, could be indicative of this one result at Daytona and making the playoffs or not. You never know. I'm excited for it. I love restrictor plate racing. Thank you all again for watching, and huge congratulations to Kyle Larson getting the Watkins Glen sweep. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, it's a Cup Series leech. I get that, but to add context to it, Kyle Larson hasn't won an Xfinity race quite some time, so I'm okay with that. He doesn't run every week. He doesn't win 5 races out of 5 starts. So I'm okay with that. right? I don't mind it once in a while. Just don't run every single, freaking Xfinity race. Anyways, thank you again for watching. Make sure to pre-order the Kyle Larson Race to Win Diecasts. Hope Daytona's going to be an absolute barn burner. Thank you all again for watching. Diecast Buffet. Signing off.